Hi, I'm Kelly at Book and Paper Arts, and today I'm going to show how I made this collage layout in my newest altered book. It's one I've just started. When I make collage, I am often asked, how do you choose your images and how do you know where your images go? I think people think that if you buy a collage or see an altered book layout, that it just came that way. It does not. It takes a lot of trial and error and this and that. So today I'm going to talk about how to get from the blank page to finding and choosing your images and where they go on the page layer by layer. If you like altered books, journal arts, vintage books, paper, and other ephemera, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and be sure and turn on the notifications, and you will have more of them in your life. This is a child's board book, and I like working in these. I like altering these. They're easy to find and inexpensive and come in good sizes and shapes. I've covered the boards with different kinds of text. Some of it's handwritten, some of it's from vintage letterpress pages, but they're all text, and that's kind of holding this book together in a whimsical way. See, I know that she is going to go here, but we're not doing that layout today. I've just parked her here so that I know I know where she is when I need her. Instead, we're going to work on this page. This background is of a legal document that I got in Lisbon at a flea market. And I paid way too much for it. It's before I knew better. It's from 1910. I do like it, though. It's a really good page because it's got these stamps. And so the only thing that I know at this point that is going to be in this layout is this girl here. She is from a French postcard. And also from about 1910, I would say, maybe 1908. And I really like the way that this off blue, almost a blue-green, picks up the blue here, and then the pinks are the same here and in the flowers. Also, her hair is a kind of a sepia brown from the tint on this postcard, and there's sepia staining all throughout. So we're off to a good start. I might pull her all the way over here because I've got this blank space. And if I do that, then that pulls the eye from all the way down here in the left-hand corner up to the right-hand corner, top, because the pink. And that helps make this layout not page, but one canvas, one layout. Not sure. So let's look at some of the other pieces that are auditioning for this layout. First, I found quite a bit of marbled paper in the scrap box. And these all come from end papers in vintage dictionaries. This has the pinks and the blues, so I like that. I thought about that, but I don't want to cover up the stamps. It could go there. That's okay, but it's not really, I don't know. It's okay. It's better there. Vertical. I also have this other marbled paper, and it's got the off blue and the pinks, and it could go there to anchor this side. And again, you're going to pull the eye from here to here and there. I have this cigarette card, And it's got some sea holly, which also has those off blue colors with the pink, very much echoing this stamp. But it doesn't really tell a story. And I don't think it doesn't have to tell a story, but if it's not going to tell a story, it needs uh, something stronger visually. I have two other cards. These are flowers, and they're some kind of French collectible cards that you would get in a whole set. And I have a friend in France, and she said she used to get these in school. When she got a good grade, you'd get a card, and then you could collect them. Now, these tulips look good. They're taking up a little bit more space, and you've got the off blue and the off blue, flower, flower. I think this is closer, though, color-wise, because the blue goes there and the pink goes there. So it's actually giving you a line. And I like that, but I I just think maybe the rectangle is too severe. Maybe not. Now I have another rectangle, and this is of a vintage French holy card from 1897. And I love these old holy cards. They are, to me, they're like just beautiful, tiny works of art in themselves, with the engraving, the gilt, the print. And if you like them as well, I have a bunch of them, a printable version of holy cards on Etsy as a lot, 150 cards. I'm going to link to that in the text below this video, so you can go over and have a look. This is not as harsh as the flowers because it's just got the softer edge, and it fits perfectly. Covers up that space, and has these dusty blues that very much pick up these other dusty colors here. This would be even stronger if it had some embellishing here. For that, I always keep, one of my favorite embellishments is bird's eggs. Are bird's eggs? And I just keep a bunch in an envelope. I print them up, and then if I'm watching TV or something, I just cut them, and I have a stash whenever I need them. And I found this one that, again, is picking up those colors here and here. And this is a tiny bird's nest. This is very good, and it is a strong contender. Again, it's not exactly telling a story, but it's very evocative visually and pretty. I also have some larger bird's eggs that might make a good focal point. Like there with the colors that are the dusty blue. So I will be fussy cutting those off camera, and we'll come back and have a look at how those go. From bird's eggs to birds. First, I have this. Now, this bird is from a book called Cassell's Book of Birds. It's from 1897. And I like this a lot because he does fill up the whole space in an almost absurd way. But at the same time, the way he's laid out on the page leaves lots of negative space. And that means room for embellishment and movement. So that's tempting. Here is another book from Castles, Book of Birds. And this is very pretty layout-wise. It does have the movement. It does have the space. Now let's see how it looks if we move them around. Put her over here. Now we're still able to see the stamps. And he's looking at her and she's looking off at something else. So maybe he's saying, what's so interesting over there? I can't see. So be sure and just move your pieces around to see if they tell a different story. At the end of the day, I like this bird, but I'm not happy with the bright blue. I have one other book bird from Castles today. And again, I have Castles. These vintage birds are also a printable lot on Etsy. This one is tempting because, all right, look at this. You've got the dusty colors and the off green just right there. It's kind of a long shot, and I think it's going to fit because I did this. And I started at one end, and I think he's just going to clear the book. So again, I'm going to cut that out and then see how it looks. While we're talking about wings, I have vintage butterflies. Oh, at their moths. This is from a book called Our Country's Butterflies and Moths, and it's from 1905. Now, I'm thinking about this one because it's very whimsical and it does have some of the similar colors. But I actually think at the end of the day, this one, because look how he's got the same off blue, the same pink, and then added bonus, lots of sepia, almost a parchment. So I'm going to cut that out. And he will make the second round of auditions. I'm also going to cut out this flower, and it's from a book called Flora. I got this on eBay. It was not expensive, and it has a ton of beautiful vintage images, and this one has those colors. So I'm going to see what that looks like. And finally, I am actually considering going in a completely different direction. That is with this paper napkin. Super thin, and when I glue it down, it will go completely translucent, showing the text underneath, and then adding some mystery flowers just floating there. Maybe. I'll be back. And round 2. Let's have a look at the birds. This is the one that I just cut out, and he does just fit, but in a way that I like, taking up a lot of space, but there's a lot of movement. I do like this, and there's a couple of things going on. One is you've got the blue-green of his beak that's picking up the colors here. And he's looking, his eye gaze is going up like this. And even though her eyes are this, it matches the tilt of her head. So this and this. And that gives a consistency. I don't know quite what he's thinking, but I think that she definitely is rolling her eyes. And if a beautiful, well brought up young girl in 1908 knew how, I'm pretty sure she'd be saying, whatever, whatever, bird. Let's try this guy again. This is different from most of the images we've looked at because all of the others have had subdued shades. And this one, the yellow, really pops and dominates the layout, and it shouldn't work. Should not work, but it does. And now maybe he's singing and she's listening, or maybe he's talking to her and again she's saying, I can't hear you. I actually think this is very, very strong. I like this layout a lot. I'm going to think about it. Here is that flower that I cut out. It's an iris or a lily. I don't know, is it? Friends, help me out here. What is it? I like this a lot. The colors just are perfect. And it has an old-timey feel that suits everything about this layout. But we've got some floaty blank space here I'm not happy with. It just needs something else. So now I have this fragment of marbled paper. I'm going to put that there. Now when I add the flower, it's more of a tree because this is creating a hill or a ground line, and it's as if this is growing from that space, which tells something completely different. We do need something up here in the corner, and that is not it. On my page of moths and butterflies, there were some half wings. I don't know why. And I like this. I am now liking this a lot because you have the blue and the blue. It's growing. You've got vertical and vertical. And then you've got the colors over here that very much echo what's going on over here. This is a very, very strong layout. And I am thinking about it. I also have this egg, one of the oversized eggs. And again, this is a little bit static, but not in a bad way. Mainly because of the colors really pulling the whole thing together. Let's try moving things a little bit. I still have the full-size moth. And again, this really, really is picking up all of the colors here. And there's something that I really am, there's something moving about this. Now she's gone from looking sarcastic to looking, there's almost a spiritual quality, as if there's something in her spirit that's in these wings, and it's moving, it's flying. So her gaze is completely different. Now if we turn this, whatever that quality that's embodied there in the wings, it's now flying towards her. Or is it? it may be that that arc is going to go straight over her, and she's watching that as well. Needs something. I'm wondering if we can combine these, because that's going to take up some space here over in this blank corner. And now, instead of having this poignant quality of loss, maybe, this egg has now become both an egg, which has always been symbolic of rebirth, and now it's become something celestial that's interacting with everything, with the wings, with the moth, and with the girl. And if we move her over here a little bit, that's going to open up this space, and all of a sudden it really makes a lot of sense. I am very happy with this layout. Now I'm going to finish it off with a couple of techniques to really make the page pop. I've gone around every image here with a charcoal pencil. This one is by Conte, but lots of people make them. And I've just gone around the border, the egg, every edge here, and just made a soft charcoal line. Now I'm going to go in and smudge like crazy. You can use a blending tool, but I actually get a little bit more control like this. This made the focal points pop, and it also gives us the added oomph here of putting in a little bit more definition around that wing so that it stands away from the egg. Finally, I've gone around this entire layout with this soft chalk pastel. It is by Daler Rowney, and this is called the Warm Selection. This color says that it's soft gray, but it actually has a pink undertone, a dusty pink undertone. And again, I'm just smudging that, activating it. And what this does is it frames everything, and again makes it look more like one unique layout. So just gone around everything with this, smudged. I don't usually fix a page or finish it, but because this has some chalky elements, I am going to add a coat of spray fixative. Please check out the text below this video, and you will find out what is happening here at Book and Paper Arts. You'll also find the links to some of the printable scans of the vintage paper ephemera that I've used in this layout. Please stay tuned, because I am going to be working on this altered book for weeks, layout by layout. If you have any questions or feedback, please let me know in the comments below. Until next week, happy making.